Mr. Commissioner, I'm a dentist. I'm not an attorney. And so I want to talk about leadership and how we do things efficiently. So I have a patient, and when they come in, I want to make a diagnosis. So I kind of want to know the storyline. True?
I'm sorry, you want to do what?
I want to do a diagnosis. I got a problem. I want to do a storyline. I want to figure out what the story is, right? In your world, it's called discovery.
Yeah, we actually would, want to do, if you have, you're interested in finding out what a problem is, you would actually go find what the
facts are. And so it makes sense that you would create this storyline from where it started and move it back, don't you think? I mean, along my lines, my colleague over here, Mr. Gowdy, asked.
Well, I'm not quite sure. If I were doing an investigation, I would actually want to know what the facts were before I developed the storyline.
Well, you base the facts off of the inquiry about documents, like all of this stuff that has all these redacted comments. But you want to start at the beginning of the storyline. You don't want to start in the middle. I mean, most authors will start at the beginning of an instance and move forward, right? And it takes leadership to direct troops or direct people within the IRS to do so, wouldn't you think?
Certainly takes leadership to direct the employees.
And I guess that's my point is that you know, if I'm doing my job, I want to create a storyline to facilitate this oversight committee. True? Make it easy.
I'm not sure what you mean by a storyline.
Well, you want to make sure that you're presenting this to us in a rational manner that allows us to do our job.
Yes, I have made it clear to our employees, A, that a priority is to cooperate with, with the 6 investigations, get the documents as quickly as we can to them, and to the extent that they're voluminous, try to figure out with them what the priority is in terms of providing them.
And I'm going to catch you right there because it's the comments I keep hearing here. It's the storyline. I can tell all my employees, okay, I need an X-ray of this, 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 and this, and they can just go off on tangents. And it's not efficient in giving us the documentation in which we want to learn. True?
Again, if we give you heaps of documents.
But once again, I'm going back to a storyline because it seems like.
I'm not sure where the storyline
the storyline starts at the beginning of the story, right? You want to go back. Mr. Gowdy asked, don't you think it's important that we start in January? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, you rationally put this together and you want to have oversight from this committee, so you rationally want to put this storyline together in a rational manner. I mean, you can do all you want. I mean, throw stuff at us and it's going to take us a lot of time. But it seems like more efficiently from director of your position that you would direct employees to say, let's start at the beginning, what we think is the beginning. We're going to start giving you all these information starting in January of 2010.
No, we didn't do that, and we wouldn't do that. We actually sat down with the committees and their staffs and said, what would you like, what documents do you want, how should we search them, what issues are you looking for, and we took the storyline from you all.
And you took it from oversight that when we said we want lowest learners, all of our emails, the comment from you would have been then, if I'm logistically thinking as somebody that's choreographing the story, do you want me to start in January? Where would you like me to start?
For the lowest learner emails, as I said, with lowest, the idea is if January is a good place to start, that's fine. Ultimately, as I said, we've provided already, and you'll get more this afternoon.
You're running around and around and around. I'm from the private sector, and this makes no sense.
I spent 20 years in the private sector.
Well, then you should know better. That you should know better in producing a storyline that makes sense. To say, listen, you're here to serve, right? Because I'm here to serve. How do I make this easier for you to have oversight? So I'm going to stop there and let's go to something here.
All right.
And since lowest learner didn't comply with our questions, we need all those emails. And I want to make sure you're willing to provide them, like we said, all
correct.
Of them, okay. And would you be interested in choreographing them, start, finish, kind of in bulk?
Yes, we already have a search going on for examinations, appeals, and the regulatory process, because that was determined to be the storyline that would be most helpful. We've added now, the next thing we're going to do is January of 2010, and in fact, if we can do that first, because if it were easy, I'd be happy to comply with that request. But the storyline is, thus far, of her emails, which will take us weeks still to redact, the suggestion and request was, and we try to deal with all investigators the same way, start with exams, appeal, and
I got you. I got one more question to ask you. Is it true the IRS has given the same documents to the White House and to Congress that had different redactions? It is my understanding that may have occurred.
I have no understanding that we've redacted differently for anybody. There are
would
those who have no redactions, and those who get redactions get 6103 redactions, and their redactions for 6103 apply to everybody.
I would want to make sure that that's followed up and
That's fine. If you have other information, again, we'd be delighted to know it.
Thank you.